first of all, briefly, what is the situation that you're aware of in Kharkov now?
Well, today in the morning, we got up at 5 in the morning already with the bombing around the city. And the outskirts of the city was heard very strongly in our home and in the center of the city. We right away got into the mood of helping. We went to the synagogue. And the synagogue is a tremendous, beautiful building in the center of the city, which every Jew over here knows. And it was interesting. I thought I'm going to come to the synagogue. I'm going to be the only person over there today. I come in, there's 30 people waiting for me to pray morning prayers. I say, hey, we all have to be now in the miklatim, in the shelters. So they tell me, yeah, Rabbi, but we want to be together. We want to pray with you. We did the prayers, but I told them that, and I tell every person over here in Kharkov and whoever calls from anywhere else, that first of all, you have to care about your physical being now. And you have to be worried about being the miklatim in the shelters, not far. And the whole day, today in the synagogue, we were receiving phone calls from people from Israel, people from Kharkov, people came to get food, to get medicines. There are people sleeping in the synagogue tonight in the basement of the synagogue, because that's a safe miklat for them. And we are working 24/7 now to try to do something good for the Jewish people.
Right, Rabbi, it's been advised for civilians, those who are not taking up arms, should perhaps move to the east. We know Russian forces are closing in on your city. Are you planning to stay? What are you advising your congregants?
Well, my congregants, as every Jew in Kharkov, in the Ukraine, they know what the Israeli government said in the Misrat HaChutz, that every Israeli should leave Kharkov, should leave Ukraine. But that is not so simple, because, for example, the embassy moved to Lvov. From Kharkov to Lvov is 13 hours by car. That's when the roads are open. To the Kharkov city, it's basically closed. The roads are closed, and it's very hard to get petrol and gas, so it's almost impossible. So even the Israeli people that want to leave right now, it's very hard for them to do so. But the real problem is that most of the people of the community which are in Kharkov and everywhere in the Ukraine, they are not Israelis. They are Jewish people, and there is no answer for them what to do. They can make aliyah, but the process of making aliyah is not that simple. It's not just go to the embassy and from there to the airport. It's a process. And that is not feasible right now, well, in my opinion, for the people in the community in the Ukraine.
Rabbi, I have here in the studio with me Danon, the former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations and a leading contender to head the Jewish Agency for Israel, which is supposed to deal exactly with these issues. Mr. Ambassador, do you have something to say or ask to the rabbi here?
Yishar Koach, Rabbi, first of all, for your leadership and your efforts. Millions of Jews are praying for the well-being of the Jews in the Ukraine, and I'm personally very worried about the wake of anti-Semitism. When you have time of chaos, it's very dangerous for Jews in Europe, like we saw in the past. The government is willing to lend a hand to support the Jews who wants to come and those who wants to stay. We don't expect everybody to decide to make Aliyah immediately. And both the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, the Jewish Agency, and other NGOs are starting to facilitate ways to reach a hand and to support. And I think one of the solutions, Calev, should be to allow, not for Aliyah, even if a Jew wants to come for Israel for a short period of time, until everything will be safer in his home where he wants to stay, we should allow it. We should allow them to come, spend a few weeks in Israel, and then they can decide whether they want to stay here for permanent Aliyah or to go back to the house.
Let me ask you, Rabbi, is that an offer, or would you expect maybe Israel to even just help you even get out of Kharkov or Ukraine at this time?
That would be perfect. And more than that, every Jewish person in Kharkov, the Ukraine, they look at Israel as they always tell me there must be a plan. Israel must have a plan what to do in these times. First of all, I want to tell you, Mr. Ambassador, that thanks to the Jewish Agency and thanks to the Sochnut, the synagogue, my schools, and my campsite are protected by security fences that was made by the Jewish Agency. And we have worked very, very close with the Jewish Agency and with the embassy also. We are in the Ukraine, there's one boat, Sira Achad, and we're all together. Maybe there's different compartments, each one in their own compartment, but basically we're all going towards the same place, try to bring some Judaism to Jewish people, to bring them to the Israel, and over there should be Jewish. And that's the interest of all of us. Right now, we feel the need to be here is because there's a lot of people that cannot just go and just pick up and go. So they need the community, the local community, to be there with them, and not to say, okay, we are going, we are leaving. We cannot move from Kharkov. I cannot go to a different city. I cannot go elsewhere because people want to see me. People want to see that the community is with them. So we're all trying to do the good thing, and but that would be a beautiful thing if everybody would be able to go to Israel just to get out from here. And I believe that if a person would be able to go out from Israel now, most of them, or a big percent of them, will eventually like to make Aliyah in Israel.
All right. Well, in the meantime, of course, we've got to be concerned for the safety of you, of the Jewish community in Kharkov and elsewhere in Ukraine, and of course, also for the people of Ukraine as they deal with this very trying situation. Rabbi Moskovitz, thank you for joining us, and of course, we wish you and the community there, and again, Ukraine, the best in this very difficult time.
Thank you very much to you, and thank you to Mr. Ambassador.